So for this video, we'll be going over how to measure real ear to coupler difference, or RECDs. There's two ways to measure an RECD on the Verifit 2. You can select the WRECD here, or you can select the test box speech map. So if we go to the WRECD here, you need to select your RECD coupling method, which is, are we measuring with the kid's ear mold in or with a phone tip? So select that, and then you want to make sure that you're selecting the correct age. And then you'll also need to calibrate the WRECD transducer. So as the picture shows, you want to the nozzle of the transducer into the black trick here, and then make sure that it is inserted into the probe dock into the RECD spot. So once you have that connected, go ahead and calibrate, and if the curve stabilizes, press check. And now the transducer is calibrated. So the next step would be to measure a real ear measurement. And this is where you would insert the probe tip or the ear mold, and then also with the reference microphone and the reference mic probe inserted in the ear. So before we get to that part, we'll show how to get an RECD from the test box speech mapping, which will be commonly used. And the reason that we do RECDs is so that the speech mapping and real ear measures can be done according to the patient's ear without performing all of them on ear necessarily, and they can be formed in text box. So first step is to enter in the patient's audiogram, but first we need to set the targets that we desire, DSL child or NL2, and then the age, as well as we're going to measure. And then that pops up the coupling, and like we said on the other method, go ahead and select what you're going to be using connected to the transducer. So here we would enter in the audiogram, press OK. And here we get to the same screen that was on the WRECD measurement tab as well. And here you would click measure once you're set up, and you'd perform this on both ears. So let's demonstrate. First, perform otoscopy to make sure that nothing is occluding the ear canals or will impact your RECD measures. Next, place your insert or ear mold on the probe transducer, and then connect the probe dock to the patient to stabilize. Once stabilized, measure your probe tip and the insertion depth with the black marker. I like to use the reference mic as a reference for the length of the canal, but depending on otoscopy, you'll shorten or extend that. So after you've measured the marker, you want to loop around the ear and insert the probe tip into the ear until the marker is hanging right below the tragus. And once you've got the right spot, go ahead and hold that there with one hand while you insert the probe transducer, making sure that if it is an insert foam tip, to squish the tip down as much as possible to help with insertion. Here is the final product of your RECD setup, and now you're ready to click Measure Real Ear. And once the curve stabilized, press the check mark and repeat and switch over to the left side.